Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. If you love taking cutting-edge AI and structuring it into a highly productive, automated workforce, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to be architecting the multi-agent research factory.
So here's the big question to kick us off. What actually happens when AI agents start working together? Look, we've all used a single AI chatbot, right? You type in a prompt, it spits out an answer. But how do we evolve from that single, isolated prompt into a fully automated, functioning digital workforce? How do we build an entire team of AIs that can collaborate, self-correct, and deliver massive projects without you having to hold their hand the entire time?
All right, let's just dive right in. The ultimate goal today is turning messy, unpredictable AI workflows into a truly reliable, scalable system. Specifically, we're going to look at how to build a robust, multi-agent research-to-brief factory. Imagine a system where you just drop in a topic, and a coordinated team of AI agents conducts deep research, analyzes the data, writes a brief, and then fact-checks the whole thing, all completely automatically.
Here is our roadmap for today. 1. AI agent orchestration explained. 2. The solo freelancer pattern. 3. The project manager pattern. 4. The assembly line pattern. And finally, 5. The ultimate hybrid factory. Okay, Section 1. AI agent orchestration explained. Let's establish some shared vocabulary. Orchestration patterns are basically the organizational charts for your AI systems. They define exactly how multiple AI agents, or even just a single agent, collaborate to get a job done. And, just like building a human team, every single orchestration pattern forces you to make trade-offs. You are constantly balancing simplicity, control, scalability, and reliability. You simply can't have maximum levels of all four at the exact same time, so the structure you choose totally dictates how your digital factory is going to perform. Section 2. The solo freelancer pattern, also known as the single agent pattern. The flow here is elegantly simple. Step 1, the user makes a request. Step 2, a single AI agent processes that request, maybe using a few optional tools like a web search. And Step 3, it gives you the final response. Imagine you ask an AI to summarize some AI trends. In this setup, one single agent acts just like a solo freelancer. It takes your request, goes out and does the research, writes the content, formats it, and hands it right back to you. Just one brain doing literally all the heavy lifting. Now, this approach forces a pretty massive trade-off. On the plus side, it's incredibly simple to build, it's fast, and it's super easy to debug because, well, it's just one agent. But the drawbacks are severe. When you rely on just one brain, you severely limit reasoning depth, it becomes really hard to scale complex workflows, and most dangerously, you open the door to multi-step hallucinations. Think about it. If your solo freelancer gets confused on Step 2, then Steps 3, 4, and 5 are going to be completely wrong. So it's a great approach for quick, simple tasks, but it's a terrible fit for building a reliable, large-scale research factory. Section 3, the project manager pattern, or supervisor worker. Let's contrast that single agent pattern with the supervisor worker pattern. By introducing a central supervisor agent, we add a manager whose entire job is better task decomposition. We're moving from one isolated brain to a hierarchical structure. So instead of one agent trying to do absolutely everything, the supervisor breaks the main goal down into smaller, much more manageable pieces and hands them out to specialist workers. Let's look at how this plays out in practice. Say the user asks for a market research report. The supervisor agent looks at this and delegates the work. It spins up a research agent purely to gather data. Then, an analysis agent extracts the key insights from that data. And finally, a writing agent actually drafts the report. The supervisor monitors all of this and aggregates the final output. The real beauty here is control. If the research agent fails to find good data, the supervisor can just tell it to try again, creating a retry loop. But there is a catch. The supervisor does become a bottleneck, and all that back-and-forth communication means slightly higher latency. Still, it's a massive upgrade from the solo freelancer, perfectly mirroring a human project manager and their team. Section 4, the assembly line pattern, the multi-agent pipeline. For this one, I want you to picture a literal factory floor. That's the multi-agent pipeline. Agents are arranged in a fixed sequential line. Let's say the task is to create a complex script. The work flows from Step 1, the researcher agent, whose only job is gathering knowledge and searching databases. It passes its raw notes straight down the line to Step 2, the writer agent, who turns those notes into a draft. Then, that draft gets passed to Step 3, the checker agent, who acts as quality assurance, validating facts and checking the formatting. It's specialized agents passing work sequentially down the line, exactly like a physical assembly line. The massive upside to a pipeline is modularity. Want a better writer? Swap out the writer agent without touching the rest of the line. It also yields much better output quality because you have a dedicated validation layer right at the end. But the real danger here is error propagation. The flow is incredibly rigid. It completely lacks the adaptability of the supervisor. If your researcher at step 1 gathers the wrong facts, that error multiplies all the way down the line. The writer is going to draft a beautiful piece about the wrong facts, and the checker might just pass it because the formatting looks good. Not ideal.
When we map all these patterns out, a really clear trade-off emerges between control and flexibility. Single agents offer high flexibility, but incredibly low control. Pipelines offer good control, but low flexibility. The supervisor worker gives you high control and medium flexibility, which makes it awesome for dynamic tasks. But listen, for the ultimate research debrief factory, we actually need both the dynamic intelligence of a supervisor and the repeatable consistency of an assembly line. Which brings us to Section 5, the ultimate hybrid factory, supervisor plus pipeline. This right here is the recommended architecture for a truly robust system. Step 1, the user makes a request and a supervisor agent receives it. The supervisor acts as the initial planner, really understanding the nuance of what you're asking for. Step 2, the supervisor hands that plan over to a rigid pipeline, a researcher, writer, and checker from before. The pipeline executes the core work with absolute machine-like consistency. And then step 3, the pipeline hands the draft back to the supervisor. The supervisor acts as the final quality assurance inspector, validating the brief against the user's original request, giving it a final polish, and delivering the finished product.
This quote honestly sums up exactly why this hybrid design is the holy grail of agent orchestration. Supervisor adds intelligence and adaptability. Pipeline ensures consistency and quality control. You're basically bookending a rigid, reliable pipeline with a smart, adaptable manager. It completely neutralizes the rigidness of the pipeline while preventing the supervisor from becoming a bottleneck during the heavy lifting phases of research and writing. You get the flexibility of a human manager and the reliability of automated factory machinery all rolled into one.
Okay, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with some rapid-fire advanced pro tips to make this hybrid factory absolutely bulletproof. First off, give your researcher agent a memory layer, often called RAG, so it can actually pull from your specific company documents, not just the open web. Second, arm your checker agent with strict evaluation metrics so it has a mathematical way to grade the text for hallucinations. Third, build in retry and feedback loops. If the checker rejects a draft, it shouldn't just fail. It needs to send it back to the writer with actual notes. And finally, log every single step for observability. If something goes wrong, you need a clear audit trail to see exactly which agent dropped the ball.